week's session of Fun Fit from Home. Today we are going to be doing a strength training workout using the resistance band. And this is our second workout with the resistance band, and it's a progression from the first one. So if you haven't seen that one, please go check it out. So what we're going to need today is a sturdy chair, a TheraBand or a resistance band, some space to move around in, a bottle of water in case you get thirsty, and a flat sole shoe. With this and any other workout, feel free to press pause to take a break, to modify the movements as you need to, and to respect your limitations. So before we get started with our strength training workout, we do want to make sure that we are nice and warmed up. So let's get right on with our warm-up. So we're going to stand nice and tall with our feet about shoulder distance apart, arms are at our sides, and the chest is lifted. You're going to reach the crown of the head up, and let's just take a deep breath in here. So we're going to take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And again, we're going to breathe in, turning our palms up at shoulder height. You can gently look up at your hands if that feels okay on your neck. And hands down, and again, and down. All right, let's start to march it out. So the purpose of the warm-up is to get our heart rates up a little bit, to prepare our muscles and our joints to exercise. So we're going to do some range of motion exercises here to get the body going. So we're going to start with the ankles here. So let's go ahead and take this up on the toes. So this also works on balance, but it also warms up the ankles. So if you can't march on your toes, or if that feels really uncomfortable, feel free to stay with a regular march instead. All right, now let's do the same thing, but on the heels. And again, modify. You can do a regular march instead if that's better for you. All right, gang, let's go back to the regular march. So the next move we're going to do is going to be a wide march, and we're going to feel that a little bit more in the hips. And here we go, wide march. It's almost like you're riding a horse. A little bit more. And back together. All right, now we're going to take 2 steps to the side. So again, some hip movement here. A lateral step. So 2 steps to the side and to the other side. So if you have limited space to move around in, you can make your movements smaller. So just be aware of your space. Okay, now we're going to do 2 steps, and we're going to lift the knees up for 4, alternating. 1, 2, 3, 2 steps to the side. 1, 2, knees up for 4, and 2 steps to the side. 4 knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Knees up, alternating. And last one here. Knees up, alternating. So warming up the quadricep here. Now a step touch, single step. Good. Getting that heart rate up. Make sure that your chest remains lifted and that you're breathing. And hamstring curls. So now we're flexing the back of the thigh here, warming up the knee joint, flexing at the knees. And back to a step touch, but we're going to add an arm circle this time. So we want to feel that now in the shoulder joint. So we're warming up the shoulders one at a time. Also doing a dynamic stretch for the chest here. So these are all muscles we're going to be working later. Some big motions. So as we move on with our warm-up, we're going to do bigger and bigger motions. Now let's do both arms. Now you can start small here, or you can be big, it's up to you. And let's do a toe tap, and with that toe tap, we're going to do a bicep curl. So So the elbow stays in close to the body, and you're lifting your wrist towards the shoulder to warm up that elbow joint. As you tap your toe, extend your leg back a little bit and squeeze your glute. Now let's do both arms at the same time. Keep the legs going. Just a little bit more, and then we're going to do one more arm motion. All right, let's swing the arms, one to the front, one to the back. So also working the shoulder here. Now let's do a heel dig to the front, and we're going to reach the arm up towards the ceiling. It's almost like if you were climbing a ladder, pulling up. And we're going to do a toe tap to the side here and extend the arm to the side as you do that. Extension of the arm. All right, we're going to do a tap back, and we're going to do a tricep extension with the arms. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see better, but you don't have to turn. So it looks like this. Your elbows are back a little bit, and you're warming up your tricep muscle, the back of the arm. All right, march. All right, so that brings us to the end of our warm-up. We're going to slowly start to stop the feet, and we're going to grab our chair and our band, and we're going to meet right back here. So for the first exercise, we're going to focus on the legs, and we're going to have a seat in our chair. And you're going to place the center of the band under both of your feet here. And you want to make sure that your toes are facing forward, your feet are about shoulder distance apart, and your knees are apart as well. So you want to imagine here like you have a ball in between your knees so that your knees don't collapse towards one another. So you're going to keep those knees open. Sit as tall as you can, and you already want to make sure here that you have a little bit of a tension in the band, and you're sitting in the middle of the chair. So we're going to do a chair sit and stand using the band here. So we're going to stand up, squeeze the glute, lift your chest, and then slowly come back down. Make sure your chair is in a reasonable distance away from you, because you don't want to sit on the floor. All right, let's come up. Make sure you keep breathing. And we're going to do most of our exercises about 12 times. So let's come up. Feel free to do less than 12 if you need to. So you're pressing your heels into the floor. Once your legs are in complete extension, you're going to lift your chest and squeeze your glutes. And we're going to do 8 more. Let's count it back. 8. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Collarbones are open. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, great job, guys. So we can bring our feet a little bit closer together here. And the next exercise is going to be for the upper back. And again, I'm just going to turn to the side so you can get a better view. So feet are underneath of the band here. You're going to extend your spine, reaching the crown of the head up, and you're going to hinge from your hip creases, keeping your back really straight. You're going to lean forward, and you're going to pull your elbows back towards the back of the room. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and slowly come down. Now, the more you lean forward, the more you're going to work against gravity. Pulling it back, shoulder blades squeeze together, and your chin is slightly down here, so the back of your neck is long. Pull back, squeeze, 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 and slowly release. Now, as you pull back, you want to try to keep your elbows close to your sides. Hold it at the top for about a second, and slowly come down, and let's do that 8 more times. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. All right, we're going to extend all the way back up here, so we're sitting tall, and you're going to step your feet forward. So you can see here that my band is behind my thighs, and that's exactly what we want, but we're going to stand up, and now we're going to bring the band under the armpits, and we're going to do an exercise for the chest. So elbows are going to be in here, and you're going to push the arms forward and slowly come back, elbows in. So you kind of want to imagine like you're doing a push-up, except you're still standing straight up rather than on the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's do 4 more. Keep reaching the crown of the head up, stand tall, and breathe. 3 more, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. All right, band comes down. So now we're going to do another exercise for the upper back. This one's going to focus on the lateral muscles, which are the big muscles here that are along your sides, and it also works a little bit the muscles in between your shoulder blades. So let's go ahead and hold our band about shoulder distance apart. Now, to make this exercise easier, you can hold the band further apart, and to make it more difficult, more challenging, you can hold the band closer together. So it's up to you how far of a distance you want exactly between your hands, but about shoulder distance is a good starting point. So we're going to hold the band overhead slightly forward of us. Nice sturdy stance with the legs, and you're going to pull the band apart, bringing the TheraBand or the resistance band to your chest, and then slowly coming back up. So moving slow in the down phase, but also slow in the up phase. Try to keep your wrists straight, and your arms are also straight here. All right, let's keep going. And 3, 4, 5, 6, let's count it back, we're halfway there. 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. All right, slowly bring those arms down. We're going to give that upper body a little bit of a break, and we're going to move to 2 exercises for the lower body. So we will do that. I will demonstrate this exercise with the band, but you can also do these next 2 exercises without the band. So if you want more of a challenge, use the band. If you want more of a modification, you can do the exercise without the band. So we're going to stand behind your chair here, and you're going to make a little bit of a loop with your band by closing the open side here. And the open side you're going to bring under one foot, and you're going to take the little loop here and make sure that you have one hand on the chair here to help you with balance. You're going to put around the ankle of the other foot. So your feet are together. We're going to do an outer thigh leg lift, and you want to make sure here that your toes of the leg you're lifting are turned to the front. So your leg is in a little bit of an internal rotation. So as we do this exercise, the leg likes to turn out a little bit, so we want to make sure it stays slightly rolling in. Upper body stable, because we want the movement to come from the leg, not from the upper body. So core in. Hands on the chair for balance. It's a small motion here. We're going to lift the leg to the side and slowly come down. It helps if you flex the foot, so curl your toes in a little bit. And 2. So you'll also feel your other leg working as it stabilizes. 3. 4. 5. So remember, you don't have to do all 12, and you can also do this without the band. We have 6 more. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. So now we're going to do that on the other side. So you're going to just release your band here. Make sure you're holding onto your chair. Safety first. So again, we're going to make that little loop, and we're going to take the open side of the loop and place it under one foot. Hand on the chair, so safety first, and then we're going to loop that around our ankle. Core is in, you're reaching the crown of your head up, hands are on the chair to help you with balance, and let's go. 1, so remember we're going to 12, keep breathing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 6 more. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go ahead and grab the band and shake out your legs a little bit. Okay, so the next exercise is also for the lower body. This one's going to focus on the hamstring, which is your muscle at the back of your thigh. It's a big muscle there, and again, I will show a variation with the band, but you can do the same exercise without the band for a little bit of an easier modification. So I will turn to the side to show the first one, but you don't need to turn around as always. So again, we're going to want to make that loop here, and the open side is going to go under the foot of the leg that's going to stay stationary. Hand on the chair, and you're going to take the other side of the band here and place it around the ankle. So you want to keep your knees level with one another here, hands on the chair, chest is lifted, looking straight ahead. You're going to curl your heel towards your glute, and then slowly come back down. And 2, 3, 4. So you don't have to do all 12. And let's do 8 more if we can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we have to do that on the other leg. So we're going to come down, grab our band, safety, hand on the chair, and let's get ready to do the same thing on the other side. So again, you can do the exact same thing with just your legs. So just make sure that your knees stay together here, and you're going to curl. These are called hamstring curls because we're curling our leg and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're halfway there. And here we go, counting back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Foot flat on the floor. Let's go ahead and grab our band, shake out the legs if you need to. And we're going to move to another exercise for the upper body. So this one is going to focus on the biceps, so the front of the arm. So we're going to take our band this way here. So you want palms of the hands facing one another with your thumbs up towards the ceiling. And you're going to step onto the center of your band. So the closer your feet are together here, the easier the exercise is going to be. And if you widen your stance, it's going to be a little bit more challenging because there'll be more tension on the band. So we're going to keep the wrists straight, elbows in, and we're going to bring the wrist towards the shoulders here. And then slowly come down. Now you can also do this exercise sitting down. So elbows in, wrists to the shoulders, and slowly come down. So sitting down will be a little bit easier because you'll have a little less tension on the band. Come up, and you want to try to keep your wrists straight. So imagine like you're holding a hammer. All right, guys, we're going to do 8 more. Let's count it back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, arms come down. So if your feet are apart here, you're going to want to bring them back together, and you're going to hold the very tip of your band here with one hand while you're holding on with the other two, but we're only going to work one arm here. We're going to lift the arm to the side, and this is going to work the shoulder muscle. So we are just going to slide the arm up to about shoulder height and slowly come down. And again, you're going to want to keep your core in here so that you don't tilt to the side as you lift your arm. And that's 2. We're going to try to go to 12. So slowly come up and slowly come down. So shoulder. And let's do 9 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we're almost there, and 1. And of course, we're going to do that on the other side. So here we go. 1. So we're going to really feel that in our shoulders. So don't feel like you have to do all 12. And 2. 3. Keep your upper body stable. 4. All right, 8 more, guys. Keep breathing, even as it gets hard. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. All right, last one. And 1. Arm comes all the way down, nice and slow. Let's step off of our band, and if you need to shake out your arms here, you can shake out your arms. And the next exercise we're going to do is for the back of the arm. So that's the tricep muscle. So we're going to take the band here, and we're going to hold it up overhead, and the other side of the band is going to go behind us. So we're holding straight up, elbows close to your face, and I'm going to turn around so you can see. So you're going to take the other band here with your hand, and then you're just going to place it on your hip like this, just to stabilize it, and we're going to extend the arm overhead. Try to keep the elbow in one place as much as you can. And 2. Keep breathing. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. We only have 4 more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. All right. Of course, we have to do that on the other side. So we're going to hold the band overhead with the other side of the band floating behind us. You're going to grab the loose end with your other hand and just place your hand on your hip. This is just going to stabilize it. And we're going to extend the arm up. Oh, I had to readjust there. All right, so we're going to bring the hand on the hip here, elbow close to the face. You're going to reach up and then come down. So elbow close to your face, shoulder down away from the ear. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway there. Let's count it back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back down, and we're going to take the band to the front, and we're going to give those arms a little bit of a rest now, and let's have a seat in our chair, and we're going to work on our calves. All right, so we're gonna sit way at the back of our chair here. And even though we have our back up against our backrest here, you wanna still maintain a nice lift to your chest, shoulders back. And you're gonna take the center of the band and place it under the toes of one foot, and you're gonna reach that leg up. Now you wanna make sure here that your knee is slightly soft, and you're gonna pull on your band a little bit so you get a little bit of tension, and we're gonna point the toes down towards the floor. And then come back up to the initial position. And imagine like you're pressing on the gas here. And 2, all the way up to 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, of course, other side. So under the toes of one foot, foot comes up, tension on the band, a little bit of a softness in the knee here to make sure you're not locking up the joint, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do 4 more. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, foot comes all the way down. We're going to release our band. And we're going to do, the next exercise we're also going to do sitting down. And this one works on posture. It works the lower, middle back, and as well as the shoulders a little bit. And I will show 2 ways to do this, so you pick the one you want. And you can also do it with or without the band. So that's entirely up to you. So you're going to take your band if you're planning on using it. If you don't want to use it, you can just place it on the back of your chair. So you're going to take your band and you're going to hold it a little bit wider than the shoulders with just a tiny little bit of tension here. And watch me first. I'm going to turn to the side. So you can either do this exercise sitting straight up, and we're going to lift the arms slowly above our head and then slowly come back down. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is to do the same exercise, but this time you're going to hinge at your hips, so from high up on the leg with a lot of extension. You do not want to round here. So if you find that you're rounding, make sure that you lift through your breastbone and that you smile your collarbones open. So leaning forward makes it so that you work against gravity, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. So this is what it looks like if you're leaning forward. So your chin is slightly down and arm comes down. Now the more you lean forward, the harder the exercise is going to be. So you can do it sitting straight up, chin slightly down, or you can do it leaning forward. You can do it with the band or without the band, entirely up to you. Okay, so we're going to do this again 12 times. So you're holding onto your band, lifting your chest, lengthen from hips to armpits. Either stay sitting tall, and you want to imagine like you're holding an apple or an orange between your chin and your chest here. And if you're going to lean forward, lots of extension though. And taking some deep breaths in and out, lifting the arms up, and slowly come down. So if you are using the band, there's just a tiny little bit of tension in the band. You're not pulling it apart. And 2, So we really want to focus on posture here. So really extend through your spine. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's count it back. 6, 5, 4, 3, almost there, 2, and 1. Slowly come down. If you're hinged forward, you're going to sit nice and tall. And we're going to finish off with an abdominal exercise, but we don't need the band for that one. So you can go ahead and place your band on the back of your chair. You're going to sit at the very tip of your chair here. And again, with this exercise, just like the previous one, instead of leaning forward though this time, we're going to lean backwards. But you want to make sure that the sides of your waist are in extension. So you're going to lift from the hips all the way to the armpits, chest is lifted, and you want to smile your collarbones open. Chin is slightly down, and we're going to add some, we're going to lean back, hold a position, and add some arm motions. So you're going to bring your hands in fist to your chest here, and if you don't want to add the arm motions, if you just want to lean back, that's okay too. So your feet are going to stay planted firmly on the floor, and you're going to lean back just until you feel your abdominals working. You still have a long spine and you're able to maintain your feet on the floor. So you don't have to lean back a lot. Now if you want, you can open up the arm to the side and that'll activate your oblique to prevent rotation. And come back. So your oblique are the muscles of your abdominals that are on the sides. Bring the arm back. And again, out to the side. Make sure you keep breathing. If you need to come out of the pose, that's fine. Other side. Back to center, and let's just try to do that one more time on each side. And center, other side. And center, and let's come all the way back up. All right, so that was it for our strengthening component of today's exercise class, and we're just gonna finish off with some stretching. So let's go ahead and stand all the way up. First one, we're going to stretch our abdominals because that's what we just worked. So let's go behind your chair. And you're just going to reach the arms up overhead here. You're going to tuck your tailbone under and point it down towards the floor. So you want to stretch your abdominal muscles here. Keep breathing, and as you lift those fingers up, you can gently look up if you want, but make sure you keep the back of your neck long. You also want to make sure that your shoulders are down and away from the ears. Good, we're going to lower the arms slowly down, and you're going to turn the palms to face one another and interlace your fingers behind you. Pull the hands down and away, and now you're going to stretch the front of the shoulder and the chest. So lift up through your breastbone. You can even squeeze your shoulder blades lightly together behind you. With all of our stretching, you want to make sure that you feel mild tension only and that you're able to maintain a nice steady breath. And release your arms. We're going to bring our arms forward, interlace the fingers in front, and stretch the arms forward. So now we're stretching the back of the shoulders and the upper middle back. And the next stretch is going to be for the wrist. So you're going to bring your palms together close to your heart, And you're going to bring your elbows up until you feel the stretch in your wrist. If your hands start to separate, you've gone a little too far, so you might need to bring your elbows down a little bit. So just a nice, gentle stretch in the wrist. We're stretching the front of the wrist here. The next stretch is going to stretch the back of the wrist. All right, let's bring those hands in front. Arms in extension, so you want to make sure those elbows are straight, not bent, and you're going to point your fingers down and spread them wide a little bit. So now you're going to feel this in the back of the wrist. And let's shake it out a little bit. And next stretch is for the tricep. So you're going to bring one arm up, shoulder down, give yourself a little pat on the back. And then you can either hold it here with the elbow close to your face, or you can push it up with the other hand, or you could pull it from the back. Now make sure your abdominals are in. You're going to want to arch back here, but keep that belly firm. Almost there. And then the arm comes down, and of course we have to do that on the other side, so we're going to reach the arm up, a little pat on the back, elbow hugs in, option number 1, option number 2, or option number 3. All right. Good, so arm comes down. So for the next stretches, we're going to focus on our lower body, and we're going to do them sitting down. So let's go ahead and have a seat in our chair. And we're going to bring one leg to the side of the chair here, and the leg that's in front, you're going to point your knee straight down, and that glute's going to be off of the chair here. Now, so if you need to hold on to your chair to be a little bit more steady, you can. And you want this knee here to be directly above the ankle. Lift your chest, and to feel more of a stretch, so we're focusing on the hip flexor and quadricep here. So to really get a good stretch, you want to take your pelvis and tilt it backwards and keep your chest lifted. So you can either hold on to the chair, or you can lift the arms up. So if you need to hold on to the chair to make sure that you're sturdy, that's perfectly okay. Breath is smooth. If your arms are up, you're going to come back down, and let's just pivot to the other side now. So your knee here is going to point straight down. One glute slightly off the chair. Chest is lifted. If you're holding onto the chair, that's good. But you want to take your pelvis, tilt it backwards. And as you do that, your chest is going to want to come down. So you're going to tilt your pelvis backwards and really exaggerate the lift of your chest. And staying here, you can lift one arm or both arms and keep breathing. So hip flexor stretch. It's a good stretch to do if you sit a lot, because your hip flexor has a tendency to get tight if you're sitting. And arms come down. We're going to come to the center of our chair now, and we're going to do our hamstring stretch. So you're going to extend one leg out, toes up. So your leg is extended, but make sure you're not locking out this extended knee, so the knee stays slightly soft. You're going to fold at your hip creases. So extension in the spine, chin slightly down, and you can either hold on to your hips here or bring your hands on your bent knee. Stretching the back of the leg. And let's come up and do the other foot. So heel in front, toes up, both hands on your bent knee or on the hips, and we're leaning forward. let's come all the way up, both feet flat on the floor. The next stretch is for the lower back and the glute. Now we're going to try as best as we can to keep our spine in extension. So you want to imagine like you have a little string here that's pulling you up, shoulders are relaxed, and we're going to take the back of the thigh here right behind the knee and lift our knee up towards our chest. Now you don't need to lift your knee as high as I'm going. So as long as you feel a little bit of something in your glute, you're okay. And now we're going to add a dynamic stretch for the calf and the shin. So we're just going to point up and down. And now let's circle the ankle. Another dynamic stretch for the calf and the shin muscle. Other direction. And foot down, other leg. So remember extension, extension in the spine. And point up and down. Circle the ankle. Other direction. Foot flat on the floor. And we're going to stand all the way up. Stand tall, roll the shoulders back a few times. And we're going to take a deep breath in, float the arms up. And we're slowly going to slide the hands all the way down. Inhale up. And slide the hands down. One more. All right, great job, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for today's session of Fun Fit from Home. Remember to check out our other videos, and I hope to see you again next week for the next workout.